It's a championship atmosphere at Fifth Third Bank Field. The Florida Citrus Bowl. Tonight, Orlando City hosts the Charlotte Eagles in the 2013 USL Pro Championship game live on USL Nation. Good evening and welcome to Orlando, everybody. I'm Jeff Radcliffe. As always, it's my pleasure to be flanked by my partner in crime, Tom Traxler. And Tom, this is already shaping up to be a historic night. The mission was 15,000. We could far exceed that. What an atmosphere here at the Citrus Bowl so far.
Oh, yeah, Jeff. I think mission 15K is mission accomplished. I think now it's more like mission 18, 19, 20,000. I mean, look at this. The crowd is crazy. The whole end is full. They're spilling into the upper bowl. This is an electric atmosphere. This is a championship atmosphere, Jeff.
Well, each team deservedly here. The Charlotte Eagles, the 5th seed, taking on the 2nd seed, Orlando City. Two teams that have played their best when it counts in the playoffs.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. You said two teams that took two different roads to get here. Well, let me tell you, Charlotte took a lot of different roads to get here because they had to play all their games on the road. We did say that these playoffs were going to be some of the tightest playoffs ever in USL Pro history, and boy, were we right. We said that surprises were going to be thrown up. Well, in the town of Walt Disney, this is the Cinderella story, the Charlotte Eagles. These guys had to go through all the upper seeds to get here. They had to beat Charlotte on the road. They had to beat Harrisburg on the road 3-1. Then they had to go to Richmond, a place that nobody had gotten 3 points at all year, and they had to beat Richmond in Richmond. Now they're here at the Florida Citrus Bowl playing the Orlando City Lions, who most people probably would have imagined being in this game anyway, but it didn't look like this game was going to be here until a young man named Nathan Thornton popped up.
Scored a goal late in that first half against Richmond on the road that turned out to be the game winner. So Richmond, the top seed, set to host a championship, not here because Charlotte did what they needed to do. They play great team defense. And we go from, if you're an Orlando fan, a big supporter of Charlotte and cheering them on. Now they're the enemy tonight.
Well, you've been a real big advocate for Charlotte all season long, and you're right. They have a really good team concept, Jeff. They know how they want to play. They know how they want to execute. And Mark Steffens always makes sure that his team's ready to go. From Orlando, they've been quick starters in these playoffs. Quick goals. In each game, they've gotten off to 2-0 leads very, very early on. They had to beat Pittsburgh early, 5-0. Absolutely demolished Pittsburgh in the first round. Then in the second round, they get Charleston at home. And after racing out to a 3-0 lead, they had to hold on to win 3-2 and set up this championship tilt between the Cinderella Charlotte Eagles and the Orlando City Lions in front of a cast of thousands here at the Citrus Bowl. Fifth Third Bank Field.
That is the perfect setup. Championship action tonight, and each of these teams will face their toughest test, no doubt. For the Charlotte Eagles, we've talked about him the last couple of years. Jorge Herrera needs no introduction in Charlotte. He's been with the Eagles since 2007, on and off. Has played down in South America in his native Colombia. Has also played in Paraguay and Argentina. He is kind of the straw that stirs the drink for head coach Mark Steffens.
Yeah, Jorge Herrera, the native of Bogota, Colombia, has played professionally down in Colombia. You already look this season, 10 goals, 4 assists. This guy brings the package to you. This guy is skillful. He's crafty. You have to be at your best when you're defending Jorge Herrera because if you're not focusing, he's going to get by you. Defenders have to keep low. They have to watch the ball because he dances on it. He dances as well as Michael Jackson on a soccer ball.
Right. Herrera with 2 assists and a goal in that first round win at Harrisburg, which is a 3-1 road victory before playing very well in Richmond as well. We'll talk more about Jorge and his teammates as the night progresses. For Orlando, a new addition in a way. And we're not talking about popcorn love when a new addition here. The striker, Dominic Dwyer, has been loaned back to Orlando City for this game and has gotten a lot of talk nationally. Should he be here? Shouldn't he be here? What do you think as a guy who led the league in scoring in half a season in purple for Orlando?
Every little step he takes is loved by the Orlando City faithful, Jeff. This is a guy that when he gets announced tonight, the crowd is going to go bananas. He's their scoring hero. He's the guy that nobody wanted to see leave. He broke the league scoring record in half a season. I mean, he had to share the golden boot, but he did his work in half a season. And this guy, He can bully you. This guy, he runs at defenders. He can muscle defenders. He is a pure goal scorer, Dominic Dwyer. And now he's had some time to go work with Kansas City. He's been starting lately. He's been scoring goals lately. This guy's coming in form.
And Tom, I think the cast of thousands here at the Citrus Bowl would like to thank Peter Vermees for allowing Dominic to come. Kansas City is in a situation where Matt Biesler and Graham Zusi are in international duty. Of course, let's not talk about that defeat last night in Costa Rica, 3-1. And still loaned one of his strikers who has scored goals and gotten assists recently in play, had his first start when they need him this weekend, and he's here for a championship.
Yeah, real quick, Jeff, he's been wanting to get Dominic Dwyer 90 minutes fit. Well, what a great chance to get him 90 minutes fit, then put him in a championship game atmosphere for 90 minutes.
Let's meet the Charlotte Eagles starting lineup. The goalkeeper will be Eric Reed. Very familiar lineup for Mark Steffens. In the back, it's Tyler Noonan and Courtney on the outside. Okiyoma and Gold, the center backs. The midfield in this 4-3-3 formation. The holding midfielder is Guzman. The attackers, Yates and Okai. The wingers, the aforementioned Jorge Herrera and Nathan Thornton. A nice surprise this year for Charlotte. And Christian Ramirez will be the target forward up top. For Orlando City, Miguel Gallardo will start in goal tonight. In this championship match, it will be Luke Bowden, Eric Ustruck, the fullbacks, Henan Beaufleur, Rob Valentino, the center backs. Anthony Pulis, James O'Connor will hold the fort down in the midfield. Luke Bowden on the right will be on the left defensively. Duke and Mbenge. Different pairing as Polino is out on international duty. And Dennis Chin and, of course, Dom Dwyer will be the attackers.
Well, look, Christian Duke, good player. He's going to give you good cover coming inside, which lets Adam Mbenge kind of float inside and do what he does. He gets involved. He's got a tremendous shot. He's skillful. The guy can score goals. It's a good balance to the lineup. If you're not going to have Molino, this is a great balance to the lineup tonight.
Down below on the field, we see Alex Papadakis of USL. Tim Holt is down there. The rest of the cast of dignitaries from this league who has seen quite a renaissance. It's been a fantastic season in USL Pro, perhaps the best ever with the competitive balance and the quality of the play and the crowds, which is we'll be witnessing tonight. They are shaking all the players' hands, starting with Charlotte on the left.
Look, the USL has to be, and should be very, very proud of this season. It's been one of the most competitive seasons that's been played in USL Pro history, and this night is a fantastic showpiece to end this season in front of this massive crowd, these two great teams. I can't think but the USL and the folks from the USL Pro are nothing but extremely, extremely proud.
And what a showcase tonight here at Fifth Third Bank Field at the Citrus Bowl. The entire lower bowl is chock full of supporters. And for the first time ever, we are seeing people in the second deck. So I think when we get that official attendance number, it is going to be something to talk about. And only to be eclipsed by the noise, I think, that's going to come out of that crowd. And we'll hope that comes across live on our platform on USL Nation. Getting closer and closer to kickoff, game ball being presented. We will pause now for our national anthem, which will be sung tonight by Kristen Sellers.
Singing tonight's national anthem is a member of local party band GC and SAS. Please welcome singer-songwriter Kristen Sellers.
Kristen Sellers with our national anthem as we are now just minutes away from kickoff in this 2013 USL Pro Championship game. Now time for the Trax Facts. Tom Traxler's key to this match first for the Charlotte Eagles.
Well,
Tom.
yeah, let's talk first for the Charlotte Eagles. I'm real big, and this kind of goes for both teams. Play the moment, not the occasion. It's all about focusing on what you do, not worrying about the crowd that's watching the trophy at the end. You really have to focus on your job. Second, they have to be strong in the first 10 minutes of each half. Orlando have been quick starters in these playoffs. And lastly, be organized on set pieces because, again, where's Orlando being dangerous? With those set pieces, Jeff. For Orlando City, get Dom Dwyer involved early. He hasn't played any games with you in half a season, so get him a lot of touches early. Get that scoring machine involved. Secondly, get and keep the crowd involved. Keep the pressure on Charlotte. Keep this crowd loud. Keep them raucous. Lastly, focus for 90 minutes. We saw some mistakes that let a team back in last week. We don't want that again. So, if you're Orlando, 90 minutes of focus on the job at hand.
You get the lead, put the hammer down this time. Each team getting its final instructions from its respective head coach. Mark Steffens in his 17th season, the 2008 USL Coach of the Year and 2007 class of the Hall of Fame for the USL. Adrian Heath here in his third with Orlando City, brought the team over with Phil Rawlins from Austin, the former Aztecs, here in their second championship game in 3 seasons.
You know, I can't help but think for both, you talk about Mark Steffens and Adrian Heath and Phil Rawlins, the guys that have been in this league for a long time. What must they be thinking to sit there tonight and look around right now? I mean, they must be thinking,
amazing.
Wow,
this
have
is
come a
the
long
USL.
way.
Yeah.
It's great. That's why I say anybody in the USL, involved in the USL, every team, all the administrators of the league must be very proud tonight. Have to be.
Charlotte in the white shorts, orange jerseys. They will be defending the south goal, which is to our right as you watch it on USL Nation. So they'll have the crowd behind them if you want to look at it that way.
That's not necessarily a good thing here in Orlando, Jeff.
Orlando, the purple pride is out. All purple going from left to right for this opening half. Our referee will be Ishmael Elfaf. His assistants, Eric Proctor and Kevin Klinger. Our fourth official along the near touchline is Patrick O'Brien. It is now just minutes away from kickoff. A late kickoff as we wanted to allow the crowd to arrive. The actual organization did, just because so many tickets were sold. Again, a crowd of definitely in excess of 15,000. It will probably far exceed that. We'll get the official number somewhere late in that second half, 75th minute, I imagine. And it is already ramped up. Again, our referee, Ishmael Elfaf. And Orlando will kick off going left to right. Dom Dwyer there with Anthony Pulis.
Well, this is the moment you wait for. You wait for all the flashing bulbs that are going to go off, right? When the kickoff happens, Jeff?
There's our whistle, and the
There we go.
2013 USL Pro Championship is underway as Orlando attacks from left to right. Touched by Nick Courtney on the right side for Charlotte. It is into touch. It'll be a throw-in for Orlando here early.
Yeah, if you're both teams, you just want to get into your rhythm. You want to settle into this game quickly. You want to get that moment over with. So lots of good positive touches early in the ball for both teams will be very important.
There's Raul Valentino, a finalist for the USL Defender of the Year. Colin Falvey, who was here last week, won that honor this year of the Charleston Battery, as Orlando will have a throw-in in the attacking third. Eric Ustruck getting the start tonight at right back.
We'll see already early on, Tyler Newnham and Dom Dwyer getting tangled up a little bit.
Corner kick already awarded. We're still in our opening minute. Orlando will have the first set piece of the night coming up now.
Well, here's where Charlotte has to be focused because this is how Orlando's been doing it. I mean, they've been scoring in the first 2 minutes of each game that they've played so far in these playoffs, and off corners, might I add.
Luke Bowden will tee things up in front of the home crowd. Welcome all of those of you around USL country, USL nation, especially those in Charlotte tuning in tonight. Jeff Radcliffe, Tom Traxler, our entire USL crew, as the set piece went for naught for Orlando City, and now will be a goal kick
That was
for
well
Charlotte.
defended by Charlotte. Charlotte was good, strong, hard to the ball, got the ball away. And that's what you want to do if you're Charlotte right now.
And in talking with Mark Steffens yesterday, says, look, we're not big, we're not necessarily great in the air. We have to work to defend as a unit and bend but not break. They've done that throughout the playoffs, especially in Richmond, where they were outshot 12-5 in that game and held a 2-1 halftime lead and made it hold up. Right side, and Ndama Mbenge tonight playing on the right for Adrian Heath. Gets it ahead to Dennis Chin. Flag stays down. Looks to cross. Chin into the 6-yard area. Player down for Orlando City. It comes back out.
Dom Dwyer strong on that ball, trying to get to it. Dennis Chin not quite able to get everything on it to get it played across the box. It was bouncing. This turf is going to give you that. Lots of bounces of the ball. Charlotte Charlotte play on turf, so they're not. They're used to a turf atmosphere. They're used to what this ball is going to do.
Dom Dwyer will have to get back accustomed, used to playing on the natural grass surface there at Sporting Park. Now be another corner kick for Orlando City. No score here, 3rd minute.
This is what you want to do, and this is what we talked about in the opening. Focus for the first 10 minutes. You got to get through these first 10 minutes. And you see Orlando City putting on a lot of pressure. This is another moment where Charlotte have to be resolute.
Bowden, right hand in the air, left foot on the way, an in-swinging kick, top of the 6-yard area, still alive, a shot just over the top, Hennon Beaufleur.
Those low-driving corner kicks, Jeff, they can cause problems, especially if they get through. And right there you see Hennon Beaufleur with a ball that came to his feet. Wasn't able to get it on frame, but those moments they'll make you hold your breath.
Eric Reed, the 6-foot, 200-pound goalkeeper extraordinaire, a goals against average this year of 1.52, 38 saves to go with 8 shutouts. Make that 101 saves, excuse me. Kicks it away.
It's a steady keeper, Eric Reed.
And cheered on as he lets it fly by the crowd behind him.
Oh, I'm sure he's used to it by now.
Charlotte has played Orlando City well historically. They've yet to earn a win.
Tyler Noonan, very physical at Dom Dwyer. It's a good thing because those two are going to have a physical battle all night long. They both play a physical kind of style. It's very interesting to watch them line up together right now.
Sure.
Or, excuse me, I've been saying Tyler Noonan. I think I wanted to say Fajiro Okiyama.
Now, Okiyama, the center back, pairing with Matt Gold, who described as that leader of the defense for Mark Steffens. Says he's been really impressed with the way his players have communicated against with one another.
And it looks like Okiyama's drawing that responsibility of marking Dom Dwyer, and that's a player you're going to have to keep quiet.
Okiyama, 6'2", from Austin, Texas. Brother played for Rochester in this league. A shot parried away by Rob Valentino, and that was Noonan.
Well, Noonan
found
himself in tons of space and was able to rod down. That's the thing. Orlando love to get their backs forward. Sometimes there's a lot of space to find in Orlando's midfield. And Tyler Noonan found himself in that space, was able to get down and look to drive a ball, but blocked out by Orlando. Charlotte's going to have their first corner of the night, sending 2 over. Wisely, Orlando send 2. And again, this is an area where Orlando have to focus.
Drew Yates there with Herrera, who works the ball in nicely off a deflection. They've earned another corner. So Guzman pounded it out. So corner number 2 upcoming for the Eagles. 10-5-11 in the regular season. To go with the 2 wins in the playoffs. They finished 5th in the standings with 41 points after missing out on the playoffs just barely the last 2 years. They've gotten it done this year by playing their style and doing what they do.
And boy, have they done well. Look where they are.
In the final, again, they won the USL 2 championship back in 2000 and 2005. Ball inside the 18, looking dangerous now, Charlotte. And they'll keep possession on the throw.
That ball's knocked around. That's the thing. You knock it back in. It was knocked on like a pinball. Finally, somebody's able to get a hold of it, get it played out of bounds. Charlotte's having their moment here. They're able to put some pressure on Orlando.
Nick Courtney there looking to set up a Rory DeLapp type throw way back. Lets it fly into the 18. Great throw. Ball still in there. The ping pong ball continues to fly. This isn't the lottery, though. Dom Dwyer now gets a touch. Puts it down with his right foot. He's got Chin out to the left. Defense collapsing, and nicely done by Guzman to take it away initially. Now out right side for Orlando. Shot off the foot of Mbenge, again playing on the right tonight. Went with the left foot. Gets chased down by Guzman, who definitely takes away. Nicely done.
Well, Mbenge good with his left, but that's the thing. He's on his right. He can be cutting inside. When he does, he's going to frame.
Eric Ustruck, big battle with Herrera. Herrera got right back up. Ball turned over in the middle of the park. Charlotte will now try to attack right to left. 7th minute, no score. Charlotte and Orlando. You're watching the 2013 USL Pro Championship game on USL Nation. Back to Okiyama. He and Okai play well once together. Beaufleur out to Christian Duke, starting in a more attacking role in the midfield on this occasion. Again, no Kevin Molino. Scored a goal for Trinidad and Tobago last night at the United Arab Emirates, a 3-3 draw in international competition. Not sure how you feel about Molino not being here. A big loss. His ball gets poked through. Ball taken away by from Ramirez. Very nicely by Luke Bowden.
Well, Kevin made a choice that I guess he had to make for himself. I don't know that I'd have made that choice, but
maybe if you saw the crowd that was here tonight.
Well,
perhaps bigger than what he would see in the United Arab Emirates.
My thought is I've spent a year with these fellas. If I was him, I've spent a year with these fellas trying to get to this point. We're here. I couldn't leave you at this point.
And Molino, the league MVP in 2012. Jose Angulo of Pittsburgh, a well-deserved honor this year. In 2013, the player of the year in the league. Well, those superlatives announced yesterday at a press conference in downtown Orlando. Number of Richmond kickers.
Ooh, here we go.
Ball poked through. Beaufleur had backtracked nicely to take that away as Ramirez was looking to hook up with Thornton, who was making a cheeky little run on the right side.
Interesting. Orlando getting pushed quite high up in the midfield, especially the center two midfielders of Pulis and O'Connor, which is a little bit unusual for them, but it's leaving lots of space in behind them, which Charlotte's been able to find a few balls in there and cause some problems.
I mentioned that Charlotte won a USL Championship last in 2005. Orlando 2011, which was a special night here. Crowd of over 11,000. 11,240. And that was a crazy affair. And Adrian Heath said, I hope it doesn't go like this tonight, because I lost a couple of years off my life in that one. If you remember, Orlando and had it leveled late in the game at the death, and it went into extra time and then eventually into penalty kicks.
Yeah, that game made a lot of people soccer fans, and a lot of people who that was their first ever soccer game, and since then they've become big Orlando City and big soccer fans.
Drew Yates, nice ball out right to Nathan Thornton, cuts it back in. Well played by Anthony Pulis. He gets it to Christian Duke. Again, the more attacking role tonight for Adrian Heath, the left wing midfielder, if you will.
Charlotte like to double down, and right now in the system they have, they've almost got 5 to 6 sitting back behind the ball surrounding Chin and Dwyer, which is making it tough. You see all these balls coming in, they're able to get them down now, and they're able to pick their pass and get back out at Orlando, and then they break with numbers.
Looking forward to see how the Lions address tactically how Charlotte is playing them at the moment. Charlotte will play with you. They play a good style of football up there.
Well, when you're playing a 4-3-3, you have to dominate the middle. So what I tell you, if I was Adrian Heath, I would say you got to step up and dominate the middle. You can't let them play through the middle. You have to win that area of the park. But if you're Charlotte, you have to have space to play in that area of the park. So it's which team dominates that middle. And if Charlotte's going to dominate that middle, they're going to get a lot of space and time on the ball.
Whipped across to Thornton, who nice heavy touch. You saw what he was trying to do, but the artificial turf here let it bounce really quick to Miguel Gallardo, making another championship start for Orlando City. If you may remember, got red carded against Harrisburg in that 2011 final and had to be finished up by Sean Kelly, who made the big saves in the penalty kicks. Ball cut across, running on, ball still high in the air, and grabbing the top crossbar was Eric Reed.
Well, there was Dennis Chin driving to the line hard. Had to just get there to clip that ball back. It was a little bit high. Credit Mbenge for doing everything he could to get himself on it. It just, there's no way he get on top of that ball to get it back down. So it just rises up. But Orlando City, the forwards, quick. Dennis Chin, pacey. Dom Dwyer, good speed and strength.
11 minutes gone by in this 2013 USL Pro Championship. A foul in the middle of the park and free kick awarded to Orlando City as Ustruck collided with Noonan. That might have been Yates, actually.
As we're fond of telling people, we're way up here.
Says a professional American football type of facility, although it did host the World Cup. Shot from distance by Christian Duke. And it had a beat on that goal, but it had a deflection and went over the top.
Well, there was no question what Christian Duke was going to do with that when he got it. He tries to hit a pile driver at goal. He's just not able to keep it down on frame, but it certainly had plenty of pace on it.
Now, World Cup 94, games played in this stadium. Of course, Orlando talking about building an MLS-type facility downtown. They're getting very close, Tom, to getting that thing, the green light and the shovels in the ground for that.
Yeah, that's going to, I mean, if that comes to fruition, what a huge day for Orlando City.
And, of course, Major League Soccer this year with the relationship with USL Pro. And coming up at halftime, we will speak with Tim Holt, president of USL, and Ali Curtis, the senior director of player relations and competition for Major League Soccer, about that marriage that has proved to be very fruitful this year for both sides.
I mean, if you're the USL Pro, what a great relationship to have then with the top flight of American professional soccer. It's only going to help both leagues, and it's certainly going to do a lot of good for USL Pro. You see a lot of players coming down to play in USL Pro, which has made this a fantastic season. Or should I say, helped to make it a fantastic season. Those players have certainly added to each squad they've been in.
Pulis over to Duke, has some space to work with. Sends it out wide. Luke Bowden looked to get the cross in. Nicely defended there. Bowden's cross is there. Turn and a shot off target to the left, Tom Dwyer.
Well, that's what you want. You want to get involved, and he's looking. He's hunting in that box. That's what he does. He's predatory. Luke Bowden did a great job to get down. He rode the tackle, was able to get the ball whipped in. Great left foot, Luke Bowden. Very educated left foot. So he was able to put some education on that ball, and Dom Dwyer was able to get to it, but just not able to keep it on frame.
14th minute here in the City Beautiful of Orlando. Oh, not a good effort there by Eric Reed, who just pounded it into touch. Throw in Orlando City, and that got a loud cheer from the supporter sections. Ball, an adventurous ball by Mbenge.
Maybe
too far out in front.
Looking to play. I'm not sure what he was trying to do with that ball, but it didn't come off very well.
Dom Dwyer had to have been Superman in that situation to catch up to it.
Flash Gordon.
Flash.
Stretch Armstrong. I don't know, all of them.
Exactly. Okai with the header. Comes back to Beau Fleur, one of the two center backs, the loanee from the Phoenix Wolves. Here's Dennis Chin. Works in on Okiyoma. Gets around him. Another layer of defense to beat. They leave it back for Mbenge. With that left foot, puts it left and high, but another nice opportunity for Orlando City.
A great back heel. Good strong run by Dennis Chin. Taking on the defenders. Very decisive. Great back heel. You know what, Odama? You know what Odama needed on that ball? A little more Jessica Simpson. Needed a little more bend and curve. Just wasn't able to get it on it.
Saw that foot kind of go off left. You're supposed to aim at the target correctly.
Well, actually, when you're bending a ball, you're supposed to aim beyond where you're wanting to put it. So it's supposed to come back. He just wasn't able to. He wasn't able to get that Jessica Simpson on it. Not enough bend. Didn't curve back in.
It's Eric Ustruck again, the right back for Orlando. Trying to spring Dennis Chin, and easily handled defensively by Okiyoma. 2012 graduate of High Point University there in North Carolina near Greensboro. Again, his brother played at Rochester. So a family affair for the United Soccer Leagues to have the two brothers Okiyoma.
We've got a referees
telling Eric Reed to let's get rid of this.
Saying let's go.
Much better goal kick that time. One in the air by Rob Valentino. Now Dennis Chin. Duke back to Chin in the center. Boy, Chin looks fast tonight. And the ball was even faster. It's a throw in for Charlotte far side.
Sure, everybody's revved up right now. But, at this point in time, I think players are more focused in there. They're settled down. It's worse to be a member of the crowd at this point, Jeff, because you can do nothing but root and cheer and support if you're either one of these two team supporters. If you're the players, you're great.
Fans, Nike's a proud sponsor of USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Right now, 16th minute. No score. Orlando out shooting Charlotte 4-1. Corners even at 2 apiece. And the Eagles have been whistled for 1 foul. Herrera does a nice job to get it wide. Noonan. Now this is Guzman. Kind of the spark plugger, the distributor cap, if you will, for the Eagles. Guzman.
Literally and figuratively.
Nicely held in by Noonan, the left back. North Carolina native from Kernersville. Graduated from Wake Forest. So local guys on the roster. Nice ball attempted through by Charlotte. Ustruck did good to clear it. And it will be a goal kick for Miguel Gallardo in Orlando City. Gallardo, the 2011 goalkeeper of the year. by his own admission, did not have the season he had hoped. Had some injuries and slowed him down a little bit.
Yeah, he did have a tough start to the season with the injuries he had, but he recovered very quickly. Amazing how quickly he recovered.
Nicely taken away by Charlotte in the center of the park. Left back by Herrera. And will come to Noonan. Likes to go by Ben. Listed as Tyler.
Then we will call him Ben.
Throw in Charlotte. Ben will take. 1 goal, 1 assist this year for Noonan in 26 appearances.
Charlotte have settled in now, and you know, you can sense the crowd's excited, but it's not as noisy as it was when it first started, and that's going to be a good thing for Charlotte right now.
Weathering the storm, right?
Yeah, exactly. They've gotten through the first 10 minutes, and now the game kind of settles down a bit.
Okayama to Okai, now outright. Courtney. Possession evening up a little bit too, I think there, Tom.
Yeah, Charlotte's having their moments. You know, they're having good moments in this game. We're able to get forward and attack. Now, it hasn't produced anything on frame yet, but they're able to get the ball out of their end. They're able to possess it a little bit, you know, and you start finding your rhythm. So I see Charlotte starting to find their rhythm. But as you start to find your rhythm and you push numbers forward, you have to keep your eye on Orlando's forwards because they are quick. One good outlet ball, and they can get behind you.
Flick on header by Chen, rolls to Reed. Now Orlando 4-0-2 all time against the Charlotte Eagles side in the last 3 seasons. This year, a 1-1 draw at Charlotte as Thornton scored late in the 90th minute in a game that Orlando seemed to have in the bag. Onside is Ramirez. Defense is back. They leave it. And Valentino got the last touch. It should be a corner kick. It is for Charlotte.
Well, he did a great job timing his run and getting behind Orlando, which causes problems. A good attempt at a centering ball that had to be cleared out by Valentino late at his goal. Not quite on frame, but toward his goal. You saw Miguel Gallardo at full stretch trying to keep that thing in, but not able to do so. Interesting how Charlotte are taking the two-man corner approach.
That one blasted far post, free header,
goal.
A shot, and a goal. Charlotte Eagles, they lead it 1-0.
Well, you saw Miguel Gallardo come out, not quite sure what he wanted to do there, and it certainly got through and found the free play at the far post. He did a great job of heading that thing on frame and getting it in. Charlotte now with a 1-goal lead. You couldn't ask for a better start if you're Charlotte. You weathered the 10-minute storm. Now you've scored off a set piece. You're going to get a lot more comfortable playing in this environment.
And Fujiro Okayama, the center back, 6'2", used all of it and has scored it here in our 20th minute.
It was a well-designed corner, well-executed corner by Charlotte.
So the set piece hurts. Charleston scored on one as well last week. And now Orlando City forced to chase against a very good defensive team in Charlotte.
You never know.
That will take the edge off of the crowd a little bit.
Yeah, might be what this game needs. Wakes this game up a bit.
As Adrian, he said, look, this team beat Richmond. Nice play by the referee, Ismail Elfath there with the left foot. Charlotte can play a very frustrating style. And recall the game 2 years ago, the first time they played here at the Citrus Bowl, 0-0.
If you not everybody plays the same way. You know, not everybody needs to play like Barcelona, and then that's the beauty of the game. You have a way that you play, and it's up to another team to either break it down or play the way they play, and you have to deal with that. So Charlotte clearly have a way of playing. Their coach Mark Steffens has said, you know, we may not have all the best guys in the league, but we understand what we do when we play our system.
Take the opportunities when you have them on set pieces. Okayama did that. So off of the corner, 1-0 in the 20th minute. And now, if you're Charlotte, Tom, you can loosen up a little bit, can't you? Or do you have to keep that pressure on?
I think at 1-0 you have to focus. Certainly, you can't lose the fact that you can't. We're 1-0 up now. Okay, that's fine, but there's still most of this game to play, and we are playing Orlando, and they're at home. But if you're Orlando, it's the same thing. You can't get too crazy because you're 1-0 down. It's 1 goal. So, and you've seen that Orlando's capable of scoring goals. You have to get back to doing the things that you do. And then I'm sure both coaches are going to be emphasizing that. Let's play the way we play. Let's not worry about what the scoreboard says, at least not at this moment.
Ball through. Here's a chance for Orlando City. Luke Bowden has Dom Dwyer, if he can get it across. He'll take it himself and not miss by much, just off to the left, and fires it far. And a chance gone awry for Orlando City there.
Luke Bowden steaming down that left side, getting in that box. You kind of had the feeling, I don't think he's going to center this. I think with that run, he's going to go to frame himself, and he certainly did. And as you say, Jeff, not missing by a whole lot. And that's what I'm saying. If that goes in, we're back to 1-1. So, and if you're Orlando, you got Dennis Chin on the pitch who's been scoring goals. You got Dom Dwyer, who's the goal-scoring king of USL. So you've got weapons out there.
Another goal kick went into touch. And how about Dom Dwyer battling with Okioma there?
It's going to be a good battle all night.
Be a throw-in for Orlando City.
It's going to be a good physical battle between those two all night long.
Ball sent in. Coming free. Dwyer wins it. Can he get a shot off? No, goes down in the box.
No, he's not going to call it. He's going to say, keep and play the ball. Get up. Let's play on.
The streamers fly, and Charlotte flies down the field on the counter. Herrera nearly wins. Big challenge, and our referee, Ishmael Elfa, will settle things down.
Well, he's getting an earful of Grandma's recipe from James O'Connor at the moment.
Is that the brisket recipe, or is it the lemon meringue pie?
I think it's the you listen to me biscuit.
See the replay there. Always a tough call. Game starting to heat up a bit.
You know, usually in a final, you have to get absolutely poleaxed in a box to get a penalty call.
Rolls to Gallardo, send it left to Bowden. Orlando beat Charlotte in the season finale here 1-0, but look, I talked with Mark Steffens after that game. He started 7 non-starters in that contest because they had already gotten their draw the night before in Tampa, had already locked in the 5th seed. So he wanted to get a look at his young guys. Hey, I'm really pleased to come out of here just down 1-0. Didn't play my best guys. We could see them again down the road. Boy, was that prophetic.
Yeah, indeed it was. I'll tell you, if you'd have told me that we'd be watching this game, a month or so later.
Ball
look at this.
Running on, a shot curls in. Big save made by Gallardo. Dove to his left to stop that shot.
Well, that was a great shot by Tyler Noonan. That was Ben Noonan, let me say. And a great save by Gallardo.
Bowden sends it over to the top, and it's handled well by Reed, who came off his line nicely.
Trying to cross him quite a distance to find Dom Dwyer, and pretty easy read for Eric Reed. But great shot by Ben Noonan. Great shot, but an equal save by Miguel Gallardo.
Again, playing the direct path. Charlotte,
Whoa.
A collision between Beaufleur and Gallardo, and I think Gallardo got the worst of that one.
Well, Gallardo's coming out, but Beaufleur's not going to lay off that ball. He has to stay with it because the attacker's right there. And there's the collision that you have. Interesting call. Interesting call. I think Beaufleur did the right thing in the situation by staying with his attacker.
Low liner. Flicked on by Mbenge. Up in the air, Dwyer and Chin. Reed will send it away for Charlotte. Looks to make the distribution. As Okioma on the left and Matt Gold on the right. Let Dom Dwyer and company back off a bit before he lets it fly. Trying to target those goal kicks.
Well, I just think he doesn't want any more like two of his previous ones.
Which in American football is a significant penalty. Puts the ball at the 40-yard line, does it not?
Well,
no such thing in soccer. Your ball's
it gives you a throw in. You want to see your goal kicks go
ball
down.
Ball through, back heel, Dennis Chin. Okioma there defensively. Chin still alive, runs around the right side, just outside the 18, and earns a corner kick for Orlando City. Pounded it off of Jorge Herrera. See if turnabout is fair play in this situation. 27th minute, another corner for Orlando.
Yep.
Charlotte scored on a corner a few moments back.
Orlando have been good in these situations in the playoffs, so they should feel very confident anytime they step up to take a corner. Look for this thing to be bent in, probably bent in toward that near post area. Probably low and hard to be a driven ball by Luke Bowden.
Looking for Valentino, perhaps. Nicely defended by Charlotte. Not out of the woods yet.
Well headed out.
Guzman was battling with Pulis.
Yes, absolutely.
And that will be a foul.
What are you going to say? O'Connor gets there first, and then who's that? That's George Herrera, who actually comes through him a little bit late, so pretty easy call to make all in all by the referee.
Set piece opportunity from a good distance out, but with Luke Bowden at the helm. As Ustruck
this is
curling
interesting.
Around the right.
Well, Ustruck's got, they have nobody covering at the back, Orlando. Nobody deep, and there goes O'Connor now.
Nice ball sent in, handled by Reed as Valentino was running on late. He'll have to hustle to get back as here comes Charlotte with that counter. In the middle of the park, this is Drew Yates from Severna Park, Maryland. Now to Guzman, trying to spring to the left. Noonan.
Good ball.
And can't get there before it goes into touch. Throw in Orlando City.
Haven't seen Orlando use the width as much as they normally do. You've seen a few balls coming from Bowden. I'm surprised that's not a push. Looked like a push on Dennis Chin there. But Orlando, certainly not much up this left side, as Mbenge is going to cut more inside. Bowden's gotten forward a few times on the opposite side, but Orlando's not been able to take advantage of play on the flank as they normally do.
Ball through as Ramirez trying to be dangerous there for Charlotte. Now Orlando City with the ball, center of the park. And Mbenge guarded by Guzman and handled nicely as Okioma played the angle. Okai with it now. Stephen Okai, native of Ghana. Now outright, Nick Courtney, native of Coppell, Texas. Same hometown as our Jamie Watson, who unfortunately missing this contest there, Tom. Has suffered an injury late in the season. Kind of tore his calf a bit, and not really worth risking the rest of your career by trying to be a hero and come out tonight.
No, you really feel for Jamie Watson because he had a great season, good individual, just a good person, good man, and you really feel bad because it finished his season way too early. He had a lot more to give, and Orlando City certainly missing his presence in these playoffs.
Jamie, a finalist for the MVP award. You think he might have had it had he got to play that last month and a half of the season. Turnover. Here's Tom Dwyer. Nicely defended by Charlotte to get out of trouble.
Nice
Bowden, nice move. Send it in with that left foot. Bicycle kick attempted by Dwyer. Didn't quite connect.
Well, I would say he's as athletic as they come, and he's going to give things a try.
Turnover in Mbenge.
But you look, and that's what you want to see if you're an Orlando fan right now, is more pressure on the flanks.
Noonan.
And really forcing Charlotte back.
Tracked nicely by Henan Beaufleur. Now O'Connor will start things for Orlando City in the buildup. Looking for Dwyer, heads it left. His Sporting Kansas City buddy, Christian Duke. Now Dwyer holds it up and sends it out into space. Ustruck had went far forward. He'll receive it now from Valentino. And Mbenge, nice win. Cuts it left side. Ustruck to the byline. And it will be
goal kick.
A goal kick.
Wait, no, I think it's being overruled.
Yeah,
linesman, the assistant here on the near side signaled goal kick, but center official signaled corner. Of course, center official is going to take precedence. His call is the one that matters.
No, corner number.
He can and did overrule.
1-0 Charlotte, 32nd minute. Ball on the way, far post, punched out by Reed momentarily.
Good punch by Reed.
And Mbenge sends it back across, and now it will be a goal kick for Charlotte.
Charlotte very resolute, strong. I mean, you look across the back, you got Okiyama, who's 6'2", You got Courtney, who's 6'1". You got Yates back in there, who's 6'1". There's some pretty big fellas back in there, and they've been very resolute on these corners. And Eric Reed, has been very good at coming out. He's been active. He's been good at punching the ball. So they've seemed like they've defended corners very well, Charlotte.
Okai with it. Looking for Herrera. Boy, catches it nicely with the right foot. Herrera looks to make the turn and push it through to Guzman. Turned over to Orlando City. Herrera chasing back and will be whistled for the foul easily there as Mbenge took a tumble.
Surprised it might not be a yellow. I mean, it's a technical foul. I mean, he definitely tried to disrupt play there because he was beaten.
That's what James O'Connor was asking for. Ball comes through. Christian Duke. Dennis Chin now. Shot on target and in the nets. Dwyer equalizes 1-1.
Instantly, with that touch of the ball, he sends this crowd into rapture to equalize and bring this championship match to 1-1. Dwyer, that ball exploded off his foot. You didn't know which way it was going to go. It was bounced around there like it was the lotto balls, but it falls to him. Crack. Pushes it right by Eric Reed. We got game on.
Give credit to Christian Duke for starting the ball rolling in the right direction, and Dennis Chin for holding the ball up just long enough. Took one for the team. It fell to Dwyer, and he put it home. An eruption from the crowd.
You know what? That's like when you come home and you smell your mom's cooking. You know you're home. Dwyer knew he was home right there.
Now through, and Mbenge got touched just a second by Charlotte. Noonan comes back, shot effort. That was
Pulis.
Off of Pulis, and
Pulis.
Reed handled that one okay.
Good strike, but right at Eric Reed, who has no problems with that. So if you're Charlotte now, you're like, okay, it's 1-1. We've scored. We've had moments where we can play. You just settle back down, keep doing what you've been doing.
I think one thing we've learned, Tom, this is going to be a fight to the finish between these two.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, Jeff. It wouldn't surprise me if this scoreline holds for quite some time.
Okiyama now to Okai. Outright, Thornton. The touch, again, a 4-3-3. It was actually Courtney with the touch for Charlotte. It will be a throw-in for Orlando now in our 35th minute, tied at 1. Dwyer, his 14th goal. Now that would be 17th goal in all competitions. So he had 13 in the regular season, now 1 in the playoffs. And in his first action in an Orlando City jersey since June when he was recalled by Kansas City.
Doesn't look like he's missed a step.
I don't think so.
He was scoring goals then, he's scoring goals now. The interesting thing I see is that he's moved from playing more on the right side to the left side. See Dennis Chin making more runs now over here toward this side.
It's all about adapting and adjusting, right?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you give somebody one touch in that penalty box, and you can pick any play on the field, but you give it to him, it's probably going to go on
Lights
frame.
out. Yeah. Bowden taking his time to tee this one up. Another set piece. This will be just like a corner. Probably even more dangerous than one because of the angle it's coming in. Flags flying, thunder sticks waving, hands in the air. Huge crowd here at Fifth Third Bank Field at the Florida Citrus Bowl. They want another goal. Ball sent in, redirect, comes back out. Nicely done by Charlotte to get the first touch there.
Want to get that ball back in now.
Keep the pressure on.
There you go.
Missing on was Valentino.
It's the thing, when you get those serves in and they come back out, you've got to get them served back in because if you lose it there, the other team's going to counter you very, very quickly.
At the same time, got to keep your integrity. Your shape. Dwyer had a beat on it again.
That's going to be
Yates.
No, play on. Advantage. He's going to play on here. Well done by the referee.
Matt Gold with him the whole way. Orlando City starting to wrestle back control of this one. They've equalized off the boot of Dwyer. So we are now inching closer and closer to halftime. Fans, check out USL Pro online at facebook.com/USL Pro. Sure, it's busy tonight on the social media for this game. Everybody with their smartphones in the house and around the country watching on USL Nation. We're on Twitter and Instagram as well, so at USL Pro on each of those platforms.
Hope you're enjoying the game. If you're listening in Charlotte, we're certainly doing our best for you. Your team is out here fighting their tails off and doing a good job so far.
Lions and Eagles knotted at 1. Ustruck Racing will not get there. It'll be a goal kick for Charlotte in our 38th minute. 1-1 our score. Okioma and Dwyer the goal scorers. I'm Jeff Radcliffe alongside United World Soccer's Tom Traxler. One last go-around here at the Citrus Bowl before we go into the offseason, if you will.
One last go-around here at the Citrus Bowl for quite some time.
And we didn't think we'd be here, but Charlotte made it possible.
Really having a struggle with these goal kicks.
Noonan tried to save it. He'll go back.
That's be a foul.
That'll be an easy foul called.
Yeah. Grabbed him, pulled him down.
And they shake hands. It's just competitive juices flowing.
Interesting, though, that Eric Reed's having real difficulty with the goal kicks on this side, especially this side. Most of them are angling toward that out-of-bounds area. And he's going to get another one. So, although he's all the way on the side now, so he's got to aim more toward the green stuff, Eric. There you go.
Ball won by Beau Fleur. Comes down to Dennis Chin on his right foot. Dennis Chin with 2 goals in these playoffs. Would like to have another one. Cuts back. Christian Duke. Again, one of the loanees from Sporting Kansas City. We had started with 4. Most of the season just had 2. When Dwyer went back. Held by Dwyer. A quick turn and a quick shot. And Charlotte closing defensively there with Okioma and goal. It'll be a corner kick now. Christian Duke will go to the far corner.
Well, Orlando able to change point of attack very well there. Luke Bowden cuts it to his left and finds Dwyer in the box, who takes a great touch. Had to be defended well because that thing was headed on frame.
Curling inside, an in-swinging kick, pounded out, and it will be a throw-in eventually. So the ball just
there it is.
Goes past the halfway line.
It did make its way out.
This is Ustruck. Now Beau Fleur. So if the defense gets back into shape, how about Valentino all the way here on the right now. Battle with Chin and Matt Gold, the leader of the defense according to Coach Steffens. I'll tell you what, Mark Steffens, class act. The dean of coaches in this league, always gives you the time of day to talk. And the organization as a whole, their president Pat Stewart, GM Todd Engstrom, all the way down.
Yeah, definitely a great quality organization, chock full of good people. I had the opportunity to speak, as you did, we both did this week on our radio show, to Mark Steffens, and just a gentleman.
Missionary Athletes International, as they do like to minister. Not just good soccer players, but good people. And that's a big part of their organization. Do a lot in the community, just like Orlando City does. Even better for USL Pro. They're not just turning heads on the field, but off it as well.
Offside there, but that was a great battle between Christian Ramirez and Rob Valentino. Neither of them, they were just jockeying for position on that ball in the air.
Minor coming up at the half. We'll talk with Tim Holt, the president of USL, and Ali Curtis, player relations and competition director for Major League Soccer, to talk about the marriage made in heaven this year between USL and MLS. 4 teams having a loan agreement this year with players going up and down the pyramid. And, of course, the games against the reserve sides, which have been a success. Outright to Ustruck. Herrera closes him down. Ball into the box, headed on and headed in. Dom Dwyer's got a brace. Orlando City flips it 2-0.
It is as if time has stood still for these Orlando City fans with Dom Dwyer. This guy is picked up right where he left off. He left scoring goals. He comes back scoring goals. You give that guy one touch in a box, he will make you pay. And he did there. He scored with his feet. He scored with his head. What's next?
I'm sure if it's some other body part, he'll tweet about it at some point. An active young man on Twitter. Dominic Dwyer makes a triumphant return.
Do you think this guy's excited to be back playing this game? Oh, I think so.
Orlando, a different team. 2 goals for number 9.
I think maybe some of the Charlotte Eagles defenders should hang kryptonite from their neck. This guy's like Superman. How do you stop him?
He prefers Iron Man, he will tell you. Now breaking free, Dennis Chin. Nicely done by Okiyama to clear it away.
Well, if he scores goals like that, he can call himself whatever he wants, Jeff. I think he can be Batman for all these Orlando City fans care. Just as long as he score goals.
A lot of space to work with as things settle back down for Newnham. Orlando now with a 2-1 lead after trailing 1-0 early. Newnham,
good
free run into
Newnham.
the box.
Good run.
Cuts it across.
Wow.
It is in, and they've equalized. Christian Ramirez.
Well, just like that. What a great run by Tyler Newnham. Strong, quick down the line, and able to pick it in and find Christian Ramirez, who says thank you very much. Puts a deposit in the Orlando City net. Good goal. Good goal by Charlotte Eagles, but a great job by Ben Newnham. Newnham.
Hello, Newnham.
It was a great run by that young man.
Ramirez had 8 goals in the regular season, had a goal against Harrisburg and Richmond, and now he's got 1. So each game of the playoffs now,
What?
the 22-year-old out of Garden Grove, California, has tallied.
I think we said that we'd be surprised that the scoreline held. Well, we were wrong. We said that at 1-1. Here we are, 2-2 a few minutes later.
We were like Samsonite. We were way off. So Ramirez, just before halftime, we're in our 44th. Credit that goal to Ramirez. Can Dwyer now get a hat trick, because he's been the only answer from distance? Goes top shelf and is off the mark that time.
He's going to have a crack. He's a 2-goal hero right now. I think most things he gets, he's going to try and put on frame. Probably feels like he can score. Should feel like he can score. What a game we got here, Jeff. Now, this is a final.
No argument from me.
Big crowd, 2 teams going at it, 2-2. This is what it's all about.
1 minute of stoppage will be added. Now Dennis Chin off the back heel, looks to pull it down. Does so off the chest, off the knee, now back heel. Comes through, Reed off his line to make the save before Chin could get it back from Adama Mbenge.
He didn't quite get the first step. I'm not sure that he knew Adama was going to be able to send that through.
And another distribution that went to the touchline and out.
He's really having a problem on this side. He's got a complex about his left side.
Herrera was steady, took it away from Mbenge. Battles with Okai, and it will come to Charlotte on the free kick deep.
1 minute of stoppage time has been added to the clock. 1 minute of stoppage time.
So we'll be at halftime shortly.
Catching our breath. This has been quite a half.
Trading punches now. Christian Duke, space to work. Closing in was Guzman. Nicely done by Okiyama.
Tries that probing ball. Yeah, he can't get it far enough, and Okiyama there to solidly head that ball out.
Courtney to the corner. Orlando comes away with it. Dom Dwyer
that's gonna be a
bumped
free
down
kick
outside
there.
of the box. Still alive. Nice touch by Chin. It was a play on.
Wait a minute, but
It'll
we're going to
be
get a corner now.
kick out of it. So last touched by Charlotte. So we'll have an opportunity before halftime if Orlando can hurry here.
Orlando try a quick restart. It almost caught everybody. Didn't quite pull it off.
In swinging corner kick headed away by Thornton. And there is our halftime whistle from Ishmael Elfath. And what a championship we have to start. Orlando City 2-2 with the Charlotte Eagles. A goal to start with by Okiyama in the 20th. Dom Dwyer back-to-back in the 33rd and 42nd. And then Christian Ramirez a moment ago on a nice run by Newnham along the left side. And it's going to be hard to top that in the second half, but I have a feeling we will.
You know what? I said it wouldn't surprise me if it stayed 1-1. I'm not going to be surprised at whatever this game throws up at this point.
We will take a break. When we come back, we'll talk with Tim Holt and Ali Curtis about that MLS and USL Pro relationship. You're watching the USL Pro Championship game on USL Nation.
Charlotte's goal as I was coming up. I was coming up the elevator.
Ramirez.
What?
You didn't see it? No. Ramirez. Newton made a great run along the left side. He just pounded it in. Ramirez.
Halftime in Orlando, Charlotte and the Lions tied at 2 in this 2013 USL Pro Championship match. I'm Jeff Radcliffe. So glad you're along with us on USL Nation. Now my pleasure to introduce Tim Holt, the president of United Soccer Leagues, and Ali Curtis, senior director of player relations and competition for MLS. Groundbreaking year in USL, and I think Major League Soccer and that partnership has been a big part of that. Prior to the 2013 season, it was announced that MLS and USL Pro had entered into that multi-year partnership, which was supposed to enhance the development in professional players in North America and strengthen the competition in both leagues and establish a solid foundation for future collaboration. I would say mission accomplishment, right? First, Tim?
Yeah, one season in, Jeff, we've done exactly that. It's just a start. We always intended for this to be a long-term collaboration between Major League Soccer and USL Pro to build professional soccer at all levels of the game. We've had 4 teams that have started in the first year as one-on-one affiliates, including Orlando City, who've had a tremendous relationship with Sporting KC. But, this is just the beginning, but it has been a great 2013 start.
Yeah, 3 other teams, Richmond with DC, Harrisburg with Philadelphia, Rochester with the Revs. Ali, from the MLS perspective, how has this been beneficial?
It's been fantastic. This is something that we've been looking to do for a while now, and the stars kind of aligned this year. So it's been excellent. We're really happy with the affiliates. Our MLS clubs are completely excited and enthusiastic about not just this past year, but also moving forward. And we've had a lot of collaboration and integration with USL's league office with Tim and Alec and those guys, which has been great. And so there's been a lot of positive things that have happened on the field, and we think that will continue moving forward, and also there'll be some positive things that will occur off the field as well.
Tim, talk about the timing of this as we plan on expanding this year, next year as well, but the timing of starting this relationship this year.
Well, it'll be nice to have a full off season of lead time to prepare for the 2014 season. Obviously, we've learned a lot. It all came together fairly late in the cycle last year. I think we announced this in January of 2013, so it was really only a 3-month sprint in order to get a couple of affiliations in place, be able to take advantage of things like interleague play for the first season. So the initiative that we've launched have been successful. we're going to build upon those. We think that we'll see more team affiliations. That number could even double, and potentially even having some Major League Soccer teams that are operating a second team or a B team directly in USL Pro. Really excited about 2014.
Alec, we've seen how players like Dwyer here for they've helped their rosters. What has MLS gotten in return so far?
Well, it's given the players the opportunity to get some regular playing time, to get their confidence up, put them in a new environment. It helps develop them as players, and that helps the MLS club. Anytime a player that's on their roster is playing and participating with another club and doing well, that's fantastic. It happens around the world. It's been successful this year. It's happening, and we're very excited about it. So it's been great.
There was the reserve leagues this year as well. USL Pro, I think, had the winning record against MLS. Nice and competitive. How has that helped?
Yeah,
for each side?
The fact that the games are meaningful for both sides is what's really important, rather than having a scoreboard of who did what in those games. As Ali's talked about, it's about individual players and specific teams having the opportunity to get their players additional. It's been great from a USL Pro standpoint and bringing some different teams, some MLS brands into stadiums, and it's been exciting as part of the schedule. The important thing here to understand is USL Pro in no ways trying to compete with what Major League Soccer is doing. Major League Soccer is the highest level professional soccer in North America, and we support that. Not only do we support it, we think we complement it pretty well. So anytime you have two major professional leagues pointing in the same direction for the greater good of the sport, we think it's a positive thing. So it just continues to be something that us and our teams are excited about. We look forward to working with Ali and his team in the future.
I think soccer fans and supporters are so tech savvy and all over the internet, but there's been a lot of buzz about what this could create in the future. What are some of the future plans now with expanding this?
Well, we're looking more teams around the country. We know there'll be more affiliations between USL Pro clubs and MLS clubs, and that's a positive thing. We believe MLS clubs will invest and have their own independently operated USL Pro club, potentially in USL Pro for next year and beyond. More markets, more clubs, more opportunities such as this. So what's happening tonight is a great event, and we look forward to MLS being part of this.
Ali, speak to the MLS homegrown players. Is that also part of when you're talking the reserve sides and having maybe B sides play in USL Pro? Is that where you're looking at getting at?
It's part of the development pyramid. So when you have, you're investing in youth development and you have homegrown players and academy players that are part of that youth pyramid, you want to give them opportunities to play in high-level professional competitions. And so one of the critical components to the relationship we had with USL Pro, and Tim and his guys were very, they knew that it was critical to their success as well, and we did too, is to make sure that these games were meaningful. And so every interleague play game last year was meaningful. So as we develop the relationship, we believe it'll be beneficial for homegrown players and all players involved.
Tim, speak to the relationship, with these young players that USL Pro already has. How do you think having these MLS players join, in the case of, say, Orlando or Richmond, how has that kind of helped those young players develop? Because they're bringing, I guess, an MLS mentality to
Look,
things.
they know they're being seen. They know if they perform and they continue to develop that they're going to be seen. They're going to be seen by Major League Soccer, the coaching staffs. So it's a defined pathway for players to make their way through that may not be ready for Major League Soccer yet. It may not even be part of their system, but could come up through a USL Pro team, prove themselves, and make their way to the highest level of soccer in the United States. So, and on a macro level, it certainly has served to sort of bring a new level of interest into USL Pro and potentially accelerate the growth of our league into new markets as we continue to build with some of the initiatives that Ali's referred to earlier.
Before I let you gentlemen go, just speak to what you're seeing on the field tonight. A 2-2 game. You've got Dwyer scoring both goals for Orlando. They're playing a big part here. And of course, you've got the young guys from Charlotte doing things, is exactly what you envision in a championship game.
Well, it's fantastic because it kind of epitomizes everything that we've been working towards. Dwyer is really one of the, the poster boys for how this thing works in a really positive way, and he's out here making an impact in the final. He's done it all year. It's fantastic. This event's super. We have a market here in Orlando which is performing at an exceptional level. There's probably close to 20,000 fans in this stadium. So it's bringing a new level of excitement to soccer here. So for any of the players, Charlotte and their younger players, the Orlando players, to play in this type of environment, that's how you get better. That's how the sport gets better in this country.
Tim Holt, USL President, Ali Curtis, the Senior Director of Player Relations and Competition for MLS. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us up here, and please enjoy the rest of the game. I think we're going to have a bang-up second half here. And thanks so much for what you do for USL and for MLS. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you very much. Back at Fifth Third Bank Field at the Florida Citrus Bowl, you are watching the 2013 USL Pro Championship. And at the half, we got a cracker. Orlando City tied with Charlotte 2-2. We expect more fireworks in the second half. Jeff Radcliffe alongside Tom Traxler. Your impressions of a back-and-forth affair. It looked like Orlando City had wrestled things back with two Dwyer goals, and then a minute before halftime, Christian Ramirez off a great run from Noonan leveled things up at 2 apiece, and I don't think Charlotte's going anywhere.
This thing reminds me like Rocky IV.
Who's Ivan Drago?
You know, like Orlando City's like Ivan Drago with this big crowd behind him and comes in this big monster. and you know, Charlotte's like Little Rocky, and they'll punch back. I mean, the thing that's amazing is, I mean, Orlando City had answered back Charlotte, and then Charlotte answered back Orlando. You know, both teams up for the occasion. Charlotte showing you that they are clearly a team to be reckoned with, as they've proven throughout these USL Pro playoffs. You know, but very impressed with Ben Noonan, who's been able to get down the line a time or two. And defensively, Charlotte's organization, if you want to say for the most part, it's been pretty good, but you got to keep control of Dom Dwyer.
Two goals.
You give him a chance in the box, and he will make you pay, and he has proven that.
Sure. Fajiro Okayoma opened the scoring in the 20th minute off the feed from Jorge Herrera. Dom Dwyer, his first goal. assisted by Dennis Chin in the 33rd. The second one came in the 42nd. Eric Ustruck got the assist. Christian Ramirez then in the 44th, as we talked about, Newnham got the assist there. Orlando out shooting Charlotte 12-5. Saves even at 1. Corners in favor of Orlando 6-3. Charlotte has committed 5 fouls and has been flagged for offside just once. And we are now set to start that second half as we switch sides. A substitution has been made. We'll get you caught up on that shortly as we're underway. Now Orlando will go from right to left. Charlotte with possession in the orange going left to right. 29 apparently coming off for 3. That would be Evan Harding if this is a Charlotte.
Nick Courtney's off.
So Courtney, the right fullback. And Evan Harding, a listed midfielder. Orlando now will attack Eric Reed on the other side. And it should be a little easier for Eric Reed because he's got the open space to our left behind him. Doesn't have a throng of about 6,000 behind him.
I don't know if that's what it was but something. Goal kicks just weren't right for Mr. Eric Reed
I think
over on his left side.
I would like to say it was the supporters from Orlando City that steered those balls off to the left.
You're probably right. That wall of
4 of them.
That's a wall of sound behind him. I don't know if anybody can see this, but it is up into the second tier solidly.
Just underway second half, 2-2 our score. We expected a heavyweight title fight. Now whether Ivan Drago and Rocky Balboa are involved remains to be seen.
It's kind of like that, Charlotte's like the little team that could coming out of Charlotte, the 5th seed, and Orlando's this big monster with this crowd behind them, and it just kind of reminded me of Rocky.
Sure. Special thanks again to Tim Holt, the president of United Soccer Leagues, and Allie Curtis, the director of player relations and competition for Major League Soccer, who joined us at halftime. Talk a little bit about that marriage between the two leagues that has proved to be so successful. And I'd like to say that's probably a big part of the success and the parity in the league this year is 4 teams, 3 of which hosted or were top 4 seeds. So 3 of the 4 teams had MLS contributions as far as players being loaned to them were among the top 4 teams in the league this year.
It just puts more quality in the league, doesn't it, Jeff? I mean, these players that are coming from MLS, they might not be the guys that are quite breaking into the starting 11, but they're good quality players. So they're helping every team that they join, and of course that goes to make this league stronger.
One being made by Mbenge gets taken to the turf. Play on, says our referee Ismail Elfa.
That was a good battle on the ball there as well. Good, strong, committed.
Ball into space. Pulled down was Dennis Chin. Gets back up on his feet.
Able to get that thing steered toward Dwyer, but here comes
the counter now. Racing down the right side is Drew Yates. Cuts back on O'Connor, who holds his ground. Now back into space. Okai.
Drew Yates,
the distribution. Nice
just finally
one-touch
picked
passing.
Up. Drew Yates had a seam and was running through by himself the goal.
Newnham
big switch.
Makes the switch, yeah, all the way to the other side. Here is to be another substitution
change,
as well. Villasenor is in as well.
It's in for Nathan Thornton, is that right?
Take a look. Villasenor did not catch the placard on the sideline beforehand. We do know now that Harding and Villasenor are in for Charlotte, and Orlando is now attacking right to left. Dom Dwyer pulls it into the 18, gets a beat on it, goes down, and no whistle, and probably shouldn't have been. It was incidental.
Good, strong Dominic Dwyer. He's not going down for nothing. There was definite contact, but there was nothing malicious, nothing that would send it spot.
Anthony Pulis will settle in. There'll be another corner for the Lions. Their 7th of the night. They've had plenty of opportunities.
Some bumping going on in that box. Rubbing is racing, son. And there's plenty of rubbing going on down the bottom, bumping and pushing and shoving going on in that box.
Ball driven low near post, and Dwyer got a foot on it. He and Herrera were together. And now Eric Reed will settle over.
Again, this is one of those moments in the 10 minutes that you have to weather. This is the 10 minutes we talked about for Charlotte at the beginning of each half. You got to get through.
And a huge crowd here tonight at Fifth Third Bank Field at the Florida Citrus Bowl. This will easily be a record crowd,
Oh, for sure.
and it will probably smash it. I mean, not even.
Yeah, it's not going to be close. It's going to break it by a wide margin, Jeff. For a soccer game in USL Pro, I've never seen it like this.
Orlando City has averaged over 8,000 during the regular season, had a couple of crowds in excess of 10. Had that friendly against Fluminense. That was the largest crowd, over 11,000.
Yeah, this is bigger than
Orlando held their own against the Brazilian champs, 4-3 in that friendly. Dwyer had a very impressive goal. And shortly thereafter, he was recalled by Peter Vermees in Sporting Kansas City.
When you're a player of quality like that, you're of use to your parent club.
Sure. Special hello to our friends in Kansas City who we know are watching, some members of the Cauldron, I'm sure, watching Dominic Dwyer score 2 goals.
Well, your man's doing very well here. Your man, our man. I'm sure the Orlando City fans would say our man too. So
yeah, let's not forget about the contributions of Christian Duke as well, who was the Clubman of the Year, the Rookie of the Year rather, for Orlando City.
You know, that's a good young man. Every time I go out to training, that's a young man who's always he's always still out there. The other players go in, he's always out there doing extra work. And that's what it takes to be a good pro. And, he's been, along with John Kempen, one of the players that has remained here all year long. So, he's a good one for those of you in Kansas City.
Kempen, the homegrown player for Sporting. Now to the left side. Cut back and nicely defended by Ustruck. Some high ball pressure now, forced this turnover. Comes near side. This is Evan Harding. Goes against Duke, and it will come back to Orlando City on the throw. And Dookie out of Overland Park, Kansas, a local product, also an academy guy for Sporting KC.
Ooh, a little bit of shucking and jiving there by Luke Bowden back in the defensive third.
Okai got a touch. Now on the right side, Villasenor. In the center, it's Yates. Has Villasenor as an outlet to the right.
Whoa.
Boy, dangerous ball as Ustruck moved really quick just to make sure. Wasn't expecting that ball to come over.
No. In his hurry to go get that, found himself on the third bank floor.
So Harding in defensively. In for Courtney on the right. Say Villasenor perhaps in for Thornton. Not sure if there was an injury there. Don't see Thornton on the field at the moment.
Ooh. That's what Orlando have to pressure right there. Those types of balls. You have to come in and pressure those behind if you're gonna, especially with them in their 4-3-3. It's a good time to get up, pressure them, force them back a little bit more.
Bringing it down now, Villasenor, Sergio, the native of Guadalajara, Mexico. Comes near side, Harding. Comes off of O'Connor, nicely saved by Bods. That is Luke Bowden, Sheffield, England man. Duke.
Not a lot of time. Not a lot of time in that midfield with this 4-3-3 that Charlotte played. Immediately turns 4-5-1 defensively, and they're getting good double teams in the midfield. It's making all the Orlando midfield players work that much harder and quicker on the ball.
Yates made the switch to Noonan. Comes back now to Guzman, the holding mid. And turned over to the middle of the park. Orlando looks to break out. Dwyer leaving it for Christian Duke in that center circle. Now O'Connor going out wide right. And Benge. Ustruck back to Adama. Senegalese midfielder sends it in. First touch by Okai, and Charlotte will come away.
Good tight lines by Charlotte. They're nice and compact, able to cut a lot of those balls out.
Just past 9 o'clock in the PM here on the East Coast. 55th minute, 2-2 our score in this 2013 USL Pro Championship game. Pace has settled down in the second half quite a bit, but it took a while for the game to open up. First score came in the 20th minute off of a set piece. Okiyama pounded it home. Herrera got the assist.
And it's been quite a roller coaster since.
We are the roller coaster capital of the U.S. here.
We got a
in
few.
Orlando. Disney, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, all nearby, and Legoland.
Of course, Legoland, big time.
Big sponsor. Now it goes to the center of the park.
Good tackle by
Adama,
Pulis.
space to work, leaves it for Dwyer. Top of the 18, goes down, and nicely defended by Charlotte and Okiyoma. Dwyer stretching his legs a bit, gets back up.
Make sure no cramp.
Harding, native of Charlotte. Villasenor.
Good run.
All ahead. Again, Ramirez already has a goal, had the equalizer, the 44th. Duke. Bowden. One-on-one with Christian and sent into touch.
Charlotte making
Orlando
it
throw.
really tight. That was hard to play out of for Christian Duke and Luke Bowden. Charlotte getting real tight with Orlando, making it difficult. Not a lot of time on the ball for these Orlando players. Charlotte's doing a good job of getting really close and tight when Orlando has it.
Back heel, nicely done. Okai. Ramirez now in the corner. Nice cross in front. Beaufleur and Ustruck there to defend. And Gallardo takes it out of the air and distributes long. Falls right.
Ooh.
Boy, right to Dwyer.
It did, and it just got away from him. He goes to bring it down. You know, players jumping the way. It's not easy. It's not like it's an unobstructed ball at all.
Newnham. Dokiyoma. Play it direct. Valentino off the chest. 57th minute, 2-2. Each team has had a one-goal lead at one point. Duke. Pulis. Guarded nicely by Ramirez, who was marking him. Dwyer receiving lots of attention, as he should. Now Mbenge. Goes to the corner of the 18, parried away at the last moment by Newnham. Be a throw for Orlando City, far side.
Very cagey so far, Jeff, this half. Very, very cagey. Both teams coming out, organized defensively.
Ball in the area. Reed flies that 6-foot frame high to take it out of the air. Each keeper has been beaten on 2 occasions tonight. Nike is a proud sponsor of USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information.
That's trouble. And that's a goal.
Shot and a goal for Charlotte. Is it Ramirez?
Quick outlet ball over the top, off the foot. It looks like Henan Beaufleur who put it in the path of Ramirez, who does exactly what he's supposed to do. Gets in the box, low to the far post, and you got a 3-2 lead, Charlotte.
So Charlotte back out in front. Give it credit in the 59th minute, and Ramirez has a brace. 3-2, so Orlando getting all they can handle now defensively. See Dom Dwyer, see if he can match it. 2 players now on 2 goals.
And you see how good Charlotte is. I mean, it's a very good team, Charlotte. Defensively, extremely well organized. They know their system inside and out.
Mistake costly there. And Charlotte will retain possession. Crowd getting a bit restless. A crowd of over 20,000. It is official.
Oh, yeah.
Tom, 20,866 in the house tonight.
Yeah, I said it wasn't going to be close. That's an MLS-type crowd, Jeff.
Well, that would exceed the capacity of any MLS stadium that they're talking about here in Orlando, at least to start with.
Yes, it would. You know, I'm not into making big predictions, but I don't think we're done in this one yet. Still approaching a half hour to go. Again, I still think a lot's going to be written about this game.
Charlotte with 2 unanswered goals. Now Dennis Chin can't quite get there, and Fajiro Okiyama sends it out for a throw. Comes to Duke. Okai. Really impressed with the communication from the back line of Charlotte.
This is where Orlando have to come up and pressure. You can't let that ball be able to be turned and played out. You have to come and pressure that ball.
Throw in Orlando City. And Benge into the 18, leaves it off for Dwyer, goes down, and that is a penalty kick upcoming for the Lions.
That's what I'm talking about. You pressure the back four. That's what comes of pressuring the back four. They're going to give you the ball. You're going to get in the box. You get in the box with the ball at your feet. That's what could happen. Somebody has to take care of him.
Ishmael Alpha quickly pointed to the spot, and Dwyer will line it up as Reed plays a little gamesmanship with him. Be ordered back to his line.
This is going to be interesting. This is a big, huge moment in this game.
61st minute, Dom Dwyer sitting on 2 goals. He approaches with the left foot, shoots and scores! Dom Dwyer, Mr. Hat-Trick. Orlando City has leveled it 3-3.
Well, you get the sense that Dom Dwyer came here a man on a mission. A man to score goals and to lift a trophy. Well, he's delivering. I think he's looking at the rest of his Orlando City players, looking at the back line going, hey, guys, let's tighten this up. I'm scoring the goals. You guys stop letting them in.
Doing it all by himself, and I shudder to think what this game would be like without Dom Dwyer.
Well, who knows?
It would be a disaster.
Well, who knows? But, Dom Dwyer is picked up. It's amazing. This guy pulls on a purple shirt and does nothing but score goals.
So Sporting Kansas City, just change your colors, change the style, get rid of the Argyle, which I love, by the way. Just put on purple.
What is it?
For one
There's
game.
Something about playing here in Orlando, pulling that purple shirt, and the guy just scores goals.
Watching the replay.
Here he goes again.
Again, Dom Dwyer, can he have 4? He's at the top of the
taking
18.
them all on.
Leaves it for Dennis Chin. Rolls it right to Reed, who smothers it. I don't think Dennis hit that the way he wanted to. I don't know if he was quite expecting that ball to come off of Dwyer.
Well, he had a lot of time to think about it. But, what he was looking at, I'm not sure. But with his left, he was able to steer that right toward Eric Reed. He had no problem with it. But this game is truly amazing. I don't think Charlotte's going to back down from anything. I don't think this flusters Charlotte in any way. I think Charlotte's going to continue to do what they've been doing throughout this entire game. They're going to play their style. Look, they get numbers forward. Their 4-3-3 looks like almost like a 2-4-4 when they get forward with it.
Well, if anything, they certainly haven't come in here and been intimidated by this crowd of over 20,000.
Not at all. In fact,
didn't we talk pregame that a lot of times that can work against you if you're the home team with that, because it fires the road team up just as much to play in front of that kind of crowd. Charlotte not used to that.
Yeah, I mean, they may be relishing this opportunity. Hey, we're in a big game with a big crowd. I mean, a crowd of over 20,000. 20,866. That's incredible.
Lions out shooting the Eagles 14-6. That's not all that surprising. Charlotte has made 2 saves from Eric Reed. Miguel Gallardo 1 so far. Corners in favor of Orlando 7-3. Charlotte has committed 6 fouls to the Lions 5, and Charlotte has been flagged offside just once. Orlando zip. So Dwyer with 3 goals, Ramirez with 2 for Charlotte, and Okiyama got things started. And that's where we stand. 3-3 now, 64th minute. Entertaining championship. This is exactly what we wanted. Here's Herrera gets pushed down.
Could you ask for better? No.
And the 20,866 in attendance, the majority of which hoping the guys in purple prevail and can get one more here. We're at that time in the match where you start seeing substitutions, Tom. Is there anything that you would look to at this point?
Right now I wouldn't be surprised if he makes an attacking change for sure. Defensively you're not going to mess with that too much. You want to tell him to tighten it up. But really, hopefully a change to get this thing wider. They're doing a good job of containing
goes
Orlando
down.
and
Play
keeping
on.
it tight. They're keeping it very tight, Charlotte, in the middle, which is giving Orlando a hard time. Orlando need to open this up like here and get wide
Boy,
with the use of Luke Bowden.
Cut it off to the right foot.
Luke Bowden comes in, swerving around like he's on a motorboat.
On a holiday.
On holiday. Take a good crack with his right. Not usual, but he shows I've got a right too.
Eric Reed.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Freddie Braun come into this game if I'm an Orlando City fan.
Freddie Braun, who scored the lone goal in the season finale against this side from Charlotte. Again, a very different looking side, as a lot of reserve players were in that lineup for Coach Mark Steffens.
Well, Charlotte, they've definitely got a lot of confidence, and rightly so. They've come in here and taken the lead twice on Orlando.
Christian Ramirez, the 22-year-old, has got a bright future in this league, no doubt. Graduate of Concordia College in California and NAIA school. Get this, had 52 points his senior year. One game had 5 goals and 3 assists. That's healthy. That's really healthy.
Indeed. Very impressed with the play of Stephen Okai so far.
Here's Yates.
That's off.
Through. The flag was up. No score there.
Well offside.
Offside. So a groan turns into cheers from the supporter section. The defense held their line that time for Orlando City.
Stephen Okai has been quite a presence in the midfield for Charlotte.
Okai from Ghana, educated at the University of Mobile. The NAIA National Player of the Year and an All-American in 2012. You can see why. He and his partner there in the midfield, Yates, really holding
Charlotte
possession.
Close in and double team out of their 4-3-3 very, very well. It's just not leaving Orlando City players much time on the ball at all. So if you're Orlando City players, you want to pick up the tempo and the pace. More 1 and 2 touch. 1 and 2 touch.
There's one touch from Dom Dwyer out right. And Bengay works in on the defense, cuts it into the box, and it just goes across, and no harm, no foul. Not going to bother anybody.
That's a throw-in. If that's a shot, it's not very good. you don't like
Might have taken a deflection, but we're a long way off.
If that took a deflection, it'd be an Orlando City throw. I just think it came off his foot wrong.
And listen to this crowd. And Bengay.
Here we go.
To Ustruck outside of the 18. Crosses there. Dennis Chin colliding with Okiyoma. Another ball sent in.
Ooh.
Headed off, and it will be a corner kick for Orlando City.
Well, Bengay doing a really good job of chasing that back out wide to get that ball whipped across, causing Charlotte some trouble, making them head that ball straight over and giving Orlando another corner. I think they're 8th, possibly, of this half, or this game so far, should I say.
Pulis with the right foot, upcoming. 3-3 the score. Far post. Headed in, and it's a goal. Dom Dwyer, are you kidding? What do you call 4 goals? Orlando City has retaken the lead.
I call him unstoppable. That is unstoppable. That is a man on a mission. 4 goals in a game, in a final? Are you kidding me? Wow.
If you're just joining us from Kansas City and tuning in, Peter Vermees perhaps should be starting this young man. And now Freddie Braun will come in, the first substitution of the night for Orlando City, in for Christian Duke, another Sporting Kansas City loanee. Dom Dwyer now goals in the 33rd, 42nd, 62nd a penalty kick, and now the 69th has accounted for all the scoring for Orlando City and his triumphant return to the Citrus Bowl.
Are you kidding me? 4 goals? That is absolutely unbelievable. That's a hero and a half. That'll be talked about forever. It's almost like he's going to score all the goals that he missed scoring while he was away. And he's going to do it all in one game.
He had 15 to lead the league in just 13 games.
Add 4 more really quick.
And Bengay comes to Dennis Chin, takes a shot, and it's a goal! Orlando City Dennis Chin gives the Lions a 2-goal cushion here in the championship game.
Dennis Chin takes that ball across, turns, and fires. First time on goal, knocking that under. Eric Reed took his chance extremely well there, Dennis Chin, and sends this crowd into delirium.
Frenzy time at the Citrus Bowl. 5 goals from the Lions, from the forwards. And Dennis, the hometown hero.
This game is amazing. What more is it going to offer us, Jeff? What more is this game going to bring? It's brought us 8 goals, and we still got 20 minutes to go.
Jeff Radcliffe, Tom Traxler, thrilled to be a part of history tonight in Orlando. Again, 20,866. Big battle along the near touchline. Things getting heated, and a booking will come for the first time.
That'll be a yellow card for Luke Bowden, that one.
Well, that will settle things down a bit. Luke Bowden picks up the yellow.
Just when I was about to say, I think Dom Dwyer should replace Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Dennis Chin pops up and says, hey, have a look at this.
Dennis Chin's 3rd goal of these playoffs. So he scored in each contest now. Levels him with Long Tan. But in one game, Dom Dwyer has led everybody.
Is that... I wonder
so much. I mean, he's only trained one game in his coming back to Orlando and has not missed a beat.
He says, "That's all right, guys. I know what I'm doing. I got this. No worries." Wow.
Charlotte not done yet, though. A resilient bunch. 19 minutes to go. What a display by these two teams. 8 goals scored so far.
I mean, is that my question is 8 goals in a final a record, and is 4 goals by a single player in the final a record?
Perhaps.
They're announcing the attendance now.
And you hear Dave Ziemba, our PA announcer, announcing it. A club record, USL Pro record, easily, and a championship record.
Well, we're just talking about records. There's another one.
And everybody on their feet, hands in the air.
Congratulations.
Part of history tonight. And as Adrian Heath, as we get the focus back onto the field.
Congratulations to the fans of Orlando. And I know there's some Charlotte fans here, too, tonight.
See some orange, absolutely.
And congratulations to all these people for packing it in and showing that they're big, passionate soccer fans.
Look, this game isn't done.
No.
Not at all.
Could you ask for better? Could you ask for better?
And a clean game. 1 yellow card.
This
just happened in the 71st.
This is an entertaining match. Credit both teams. What an epic heavyweight tilt this is. I hate to use the Rocky reference, but boy, these two teams are punching and counter-punching.
Going to be punch drunk after all these goals. Love it. Exactly what you want to see in a final. Orlando has had to battle from behind.
That's what you'd never think you'd see in a final. I don't know if I've ever seen a 5-3 final. And we're not even done, but I've never seen a 5-3 final.
But let's just think here. You have a number of folks in this crowd, in a crowd of 20,000. Most likely their first time here seeing this product. They're hearing about stadiums and Major League Soccer coming to Orlando. Do you think something like this wins them over?
Well, yes, I think
their first time
this
here.
kind of display, this kind of atmosphere would create a soccer fan. If I didn't, I'd love this. This is exciting.
Back to the game, 74th minute.
Meanwhile, back at the motel,
back at the farm. Don't count out these Eagles as the wave now begins on the far side.
Wow.
At a USL Pro soccer game. Again, this is technically the 3rd tier, but I beg to differ.
I definitely beg to differ. That's going to be a free kick, easy decision.
Of course, this team, Orlando, beating a couple of MLS sides in the U.S. Open Cup this year. Charlotte has a history of beating some teams.
Oh, Charlotte, I mean, look who they beat to get here. They took down Richmond, who very few, only one other team had beaten them all year long.
Charlotte to get here, beat a team that hadn't lost at home all season.
This is
made
a moment.
This crowd of 20,000 possible. Herrera now in a dangerous spot for Charlotte.
This is a moment where you have to be resolute, where you have to focus. We talked early on, focus for 90 minutes if you're Orlando, and this is one of the moments you have to focus. With a 2-goal lead, you don't let it in now.
Herrera over the top, getting on the end of it. Appeared to be Ramirez, but it was too far out in front as he stuck his right boot out.
Ramirez going after it.
So Ramirez had given Charlotte a 3-2 lead in the 59th minute. Since Dwyer has added 2 goals, Dennis Chin his 3rd of the playoffs. And that's where we stand now in the 75th minute. It is time now to check the OC Game Day app and vote for your Sanford International Airport man of the match. And I'm wondering who that possibly could be.
Who could that be?
I say give it to the crowd.
Wow. I don't think that's going to be a very difficult vote to tally.
Just a reminder, fans, you can always check out USL Pro online at facebook.com/USL Pro, on Twitter at USL Pro, and now also on Instagram at USL Pro. The wave is coming, but the wave tonight has been provided by Tom Dwyer with a wave of scoring 4 goals in his triumphant return to the pitch at the Florida Citrus Bowl, known as Fifth Third Bank Field. In front of us, the wave goes high. Complete filled lower bowl, upper decks for the first time ever.
It's made
in Orlando City
Here
history.
The wave has made it around. Did you think a wave at the USL Pro Final? I don't know if the I don't know if the cameras get a shot of that at all, but the wave is making its way around.
Well, this is an American football stadium, but has now become the home to the best side in USL Pro the last couple of years in the regular season. This year, Orlando did not get that goal accomplished. Richmond with an incredible run, and only Charlotte to blame for not making it in this game. And I have a feeling City Stadium wouldn't quite have the atmosphere tonight. Great place to see a game up in the capital of Virginia, but nothing like this.
Yeah, I'm sure those fans would have been every bit as passionate about their team, but yeah, the thing that's happening here in Orlando, it's the way I put it, it's a real love affair between a city and a team. And growing up, I was lucky enough to see it once, and now I've been lucky enough to experience it twice in my lifetime.
Tom, it makes me want next year. Let's lobby to have the broadcast booth in the crowd.
I would love it.
So we can be a part of it.
I would love it
instead of here a mile away.
Oh, I would love it. That would excite me, I'll tell you.
Don't think it would ever be allowed, but we
no.
can dream, right?
these sensitive mics happen to pick up a lot of different sounds.
That's right. If we were in the supporter section, it would be a lot of problems.
You have to have a different rating on this broadcast.
Charlotte not backing down here, but Orlando has opened it up. 3 straight goals from going from a 1-goal deficit to a 2-goal advantage here in the second half.
We're going to have a substitution for Charlotte.
Stephen Smith, also known as Tommy. Tommy Smith, native of Antigua Barracuda, or Antigua and Barbuda. Did play for Antigua Barracuda for a couple of years, and they could have used him this year as Antigua went 0-26 in this league. The only team really not to hold their own.
It looks like can't tell who's that he replaced.
Smith, Tommy is a striker.
Yeah, definitely going to put on more attacking players. I mean, at this point, you're talking 12 minutes and change with stoppage time. You're definitely going to put on more attacking players now.
Ramirez is still in.
Was that
might have been.
Was it Okai?
Taking a look to see if Okai is still out there. Appears not. That might have been Okai who came in. No, Okai is still
on
out
the
there.
ball. Or no, that's Stephen Smith on the ball there.
22. Yeah, you're right.
It might have been Okai.
So Smith,
who I thought
Okai
had a really good game, but he's more of a defensive player, Jeff. So, he's going to be the one that's going to be sacrificed because they're going to need to put on more attacking players.
A 2-goal deficit. 11 minutes plus stoppage to go in this 2013 USL Pro Championship. So glad you're joining us on USL Nation. Picture perfect night here in the City Beautiful for the beautiful game. Orlando with the 2-goal lead. It will be a free kick for Charlotte. Herrera will settle over quickly, nearly taken away by Braun playing defense.
I think these Orlando players now have definitely got a bit in their mouth. They kind of sense
Watch out here.
They sense they have one hand on the trophy now, Jeff. They're not going to let go.
Yates earns the corner kick here in our 80th minute.
Another substitution coming up for Charlotte. They're going to pull out all the stops now.
Samuel Lasante. So Asante in for Matt Gold. Again, more of a midfielder for
a defender.
A central defender. So bring numbers forward. You got to be careful, though. One more goal would put it away for good for Orlando.
Well, yeah. I mean,
here's the corner kick. Punched out by Gallardo. Not out of danger, though. Ball comes to the near side. Racing on Villaseñor.
As the Orlando City faithful pay homage to Miguel Gallardo with their bow. With their "we're not worthy" wave and bow.
Gallardo in green tonight. El Capitan. Villaseñor. And now looks to be a paper plate to mark the spot for the free kick here. That or a frisbee. Herrera takes care of that.
Someone threw down a plate of fries.
Here's the offering from Herrera, curling back far post. Gallardo punches it out and cleared away by Dennis Chin. It will come all the way back to center.
Gallardo with the flailing arms gets that right one on
Herrera. Can he hold it in? No. The ball goes into the Orlando City locker room, where it will await the celebration. And the champagne, perhaps. Still too early to talk about that, though.
Well,
8 minutes to go.
It's definitely being iced, and it's probably wheeled more toward the Orlando City locker room at this point.
Yeah, don't forget, fans, after the game we will stay on the broadcast through the trophy presentation. And then the party will begin here in Orlando if they can hold the 2-goal lead. Charlotte has something to say about it, though. Here's Freddie Braun with a nice win.
Handball.
Appeared to be a handball on Okiyama.
That was handball on Freddie Braun. As he comes in, he got his arm out extended and right off it. Yeah, so one thing you have to watch out now if you're Charlotte. Obviously, you're going to have to. I mean, it's a final year 2 now, and you've got to throw numbers forward. You've got to try and get goals, but it does open you up to a counter.
Yeah.
Kind of like, if you will, in hockey when you pull your goaltender in a way. It just, makes it easier for the other team to score. It gives you more numbers in attack, but. And Adrian Heath, nobody up right now. He's had one sub with Freddie Braun coming in for Christian Duke, but nobody else up right now. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets probably a couple subs in about 5 minutes.
Dennis Chin just to kill some time, if anything. Here's Duke. Make that Eric Reed. Headed back into center. A nice move by Tommy Smith. Battle won by Orlando City. That springs Dennis Chin. And Okiyama just clears it into touch back on the Orlando City half.
Yeah, I sense a little bit of the air coming out of Charlotte at this point. I think they kind of, what a run through the playoffs it has been for Charlotte, though. I mean, it's hard to say to hold your head up in a moment like that because, when you go that far, you want to win it. You're not just happy to be in a final, you want to win it. But, going in as a 5th seed and going into hostile territories, like Harrisburg and then Richmond and dispatching of those 2 teams to get here tonight really shows the quality of the players inside this organization and their dedication. So they really should hold their heads up high.
Turnover in the middle of the park. Dennis Chin. Bright yellow shoes. Here's Dwyer. Runs into the 18, kicks it, and a shot, and a goal. Adama Mbenge doubles the lead, 6-3, Orlando City Lions.
Well, there's what we talked about, susceptible to the counter. The ball finds, if you watch, Dom Dwyer held his line. He held back just a tad to hold himself back. She's not offside, finds it, and very calmly lays in Mbenge, who then just absolutely lays a beautiful ball by Eric Reed into the corner. 6-3. Orlando City. Dom Dwyer, 4 goals, 1 assist.
The Senegalese midfielder with the clincher. 85th minute. Orlando City 6. Charlotte 3.
You just couldn't have predicted this, Jeff. If you'd have said it 3-2 to Charlotte, it's going to finish maybe 6-3 or better to Orlando, you go no.
It's 4 unanswered goals now by Orlando in the second half. And the story of the game, the first 2 playoff games, Tom, were scoring early and holding off. It has been just the opposite here tonight in the USL Pro Final.
Wow, now it's scoring late. Unbelievable.
Oh, here comes our man of the match announcement. It is Dominic Dwyer, number 9, and the worst kept secret in the history of the man of the match. Our Orlando Sanford International Airport man of the match is Dom Dwyer. Not 1, 2, 3, but 4 goals tonight in his return to Orlando.
Move over, Robert Downey Jr. There's a new Iron Man.
And the party is just getting started. Good luck clearing the stadium tonight. Oh, tough challenge. Player down for Orlando City, far side.
Wow.
That will stop things for a bit.
Is that Anthony Pulis? It's down over there. Is it Freddie Braun? From where
and a yellow has been shown.
Oh, most definitely. That was a very hard challenge. Last substitution coming up for Charlotte. Going to see Christian Meza entering the game.
There's Eric Ustruck, who is down.
Yeah, it's Eric. Christian Meza is going to be entering the game. And
so another striker.
Yep.
And that should be the final substitution for Charlotte here in the 87th. Ustruck is up.
From right, you substitute for, is that Zach Thornton that just came off?
Nathan Thornton.
Nathan Thornton, should I say? Zach Thornton, the goalkeeper. No, that's 17. Sorry, that's Christian Ramirez, who had a really good match tonight. Played very well for Charlotte tonight. 2 goals.
'87th minute, Orlando City 6.
I think the
Charlotte 3.
champagne has been parked in the Orlando City dressing room.
An entertaining game from both ends.
Yeah,
the better part of 60 minutes. Boy, nice ball, and it's a goal for Charlotte. It's not done yet. 6-4.
What?
Boy, just like that, lightning strikes.
That was a great finish.
10 goals now between these two teams.
That's got to be record. I think that was, if I'm right, that was Stephen Smith. Nope. Sorry.
So Meza, who just came on. Christian Meza, who had 4 goals in the regular season.
Probably his first touch and flicks it by Gallardo for a goal.
Surprise, surprise there, buddy. Christian Meza out of Chicago, Illinois. Not going away quietly.
Okay.
6-4.
All right. They just started to pick up the champagne and pull it back out of Orlando's dressing room.
Shouldn't have said anything. So give that goal in the 88th minute to Charlotte. 10 goals in a USL Pro Championship.
Wow.
Not a defensive struggle by any stretch
of
imagination.
It's a struggle to defend.
These teams have left it out there. Orlando will take its time.
Goal.
And here comes the jailbreak now by Herrera and company.
If there were odds on this, and I wonder what you get on a 10-goal final.
So I would have pegged the over-under probably about 4 or 5 goals maybe between the two teams. I thought this had the potential of being 3-1, 3-2.
Unbelievable. What a final.
I think it's safe to say that there are some new soccer fans here in Orlando tonight.
And let me just say, if there's any new soccer fans watching, this is not the way it usually is.
But I can tell you, I've seen some American football games that haven't had this much scoring.
No, I have. Yeah, you don't normally see this many games in a soccer match, but you can see a lot of
type games.
You can see a lot of drama and good play. Look at this. Here we go.
Dennis Chin is on. Trailing him is Mbenge.
7-4.
Runs into the 18, moves to the left, shoots, it scores! Dennis Chin! It is 7-4. Orlando, Dennis has a brace. Teach me how to Dougie, buddy. Orlando's going to win a championship tonight.
Dennis Chin picks up a great ball on the left side, gets inside the Charlotte box.
Oh, my goodness.
Cody slots past Ed Reed. 7 goals.
It is 7-4. Unreal. Still have another minute.
Champagne is now wheeled back into Orlando City's locker room. I'm giving the Champagne update, where it's going, what it's doing, and it's now been wheeled back into the Orlando City locker room.
It appears that we have flares in the Iron Lion firm now. My goodness. They have been treated to something special tonight. Talk about an up and down game.
It's just been a goal fest.
3 minutes have been added. We've played the full 90. Tom Dwyer.
That might be time enough for 2 more goals.
Well, let's see here. Can Mbenge get a brace? Boy, no, not that time. There'll be a throw for Charlotte. Now, the soccer purists hate these games. 7-4.
Yeah, but you know what? I love it. I mean, how much more entertaining is this? It's almost, this is just unreal.
Well, it's a celebration of USL Pro Soccer tonight in the City Beautiful.
Who says there's a lack of goals in soccer?
Not enough scoring. That's what you always hear, right?
That has to be a record. I don't know what the records are in a USL final, but this has to be it.
And one last substitution now being brought on by Orlando City. Gene Alexander
Listen to this
will come
applause.
in to give Dom Dwyer a proper send-off.
Just listen.
Everybody, including Alexander, hands in the air for Dominic Dwyer, the native of Cuckfield, England, the Sporting Kansas City loanee. 4 goals in the championship. An epic night for Mr. Dwyer.
It's one of those times where you just want to let everybody soak it in. I mean, that's a richly deserved round of applause. What a final and a performance. 4 goals and an assist.
We're in stoppage time.
That is Iron Man. I was going to say it's Herculean, but it's Iron Man.
Be a good question. What kind of superhero would you be? I'm pretty sure he would say Iron Man.
He's the goal-scoring superhero. Now into stoppage time. Not much time now. I think there's going to be a party breaking out here in the Citrus Bowl very shortly.
All through. Defended nicely by Valentino.
Credit Charlotte is still playing. They want another goal.
Well, let's send everybody out here something to remember. We've got 11 goals. Why not 12?
Well, I applaud that. You know, a lot of teams right now would stop playing, but not Charlotte. You should be proud of your team, Charlotte. They've done very well. I mean, tough night, but when you change your formation like they did to go chase 2 goals, this is what can happen. It's going to open you up to counterattack and leave you lack of bodies back.
And there's the whistle. The 2013 USL Pro Championship goes to the Pride of Lions. Orlando City wins its 2nd championship in 3 years, 7-4 over the Charlotte Eagles.
We have fireworks, Jeff.
During the game and after. What a send-off for this side, and what a season, culminating with a championship here at the Citrus Bowl tonight. Kudos to Charlotte for making it all the way here and making it quite an epic affair to remember. And the party, though, just getting started tonight.
Yeah, nobody's going anywhere, and fireworks during the game, fireworks after the game. Wow. This is a final that was just befitting of the way this season went. Unbelievable.
And boom goes the dynamite, right? Let's run through the scoring.
All right.
Get your notepad.
Yeah.
Charlotte started things off in the 20th minute of the first half. Jorge Herrera got the assist. It was 1-0 Charlotte. Then Dom Dwyer, the beginning of a big night, from Dennis Chin, tied it at 1 in the 33rd. Dominic Dwyer again. from Eric Ustruck gave Orlando the lead 2-1 in the 42nd. 44th, Christian Ramirez tallied on a great run from Ben Noonan. That made it 2-2 going into the locker room. Coming out into the second half, Christian Ramirez got his brace. It was 3-2 Charlotte, and then the fun began. Orlando with 3 unanswered. Dwyer on a penalty kick in the 62nd. Dwyer again to make it 4-3 in the 69th. And Dennis Chin in the 70th made it 5-3. And Benge then in the 85th. So 4 unanswered goals before Meza pulled one back to make it 6-4. And then Dennis Chin in the 90th with his brace. And that's where we finished. 7-4.
That took longer in the game.
Exactly. No kidding. Well, as we wait for the trophy presentation being set up in front of us, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jeff Radcliffe alongside Tom Traxler, our entire Orlando City broadcast crew, bringing you all the pictures. We will stay with it here on USL Nation until the final trophy has been awarded, and it will go to the Orlando City Lions for the second time in 3 years.
I think Orlando City are breaking out championship tees. They are. They're putting on their championship T-shirts.
Dom Dwyer with 4 goals to match the 4 scored by Charlotte. And there's been a lot of talk leading up to this match. Should Dwyer have been here? I think most people would argue that yes, he should. He was part of the team most of the season. And he was definitely the difference tonight.
I think you're happy for him to come back here and finish his job. I think he feels like now he has closure to this season. When you go away the way you did and then you watch the team have a rocky period, you probably look back and go, gosh, I wish I was there with my mates. I wish I was there to help them with what they got started. And for him to come back and for Peter Vermees and the Kansas City organization to allow him to come back for this game, great move, classy move, and he certainly repaid these Orlando City fans for the time he was away. Not his choice to be away, but he made up for lost time, let's say, Jeff, with 4 goals and 1 assist. I'm looking down there now, and I'm looking at Brian Burke, who's down
bouncing
there hopping.
On 1 foot.
God bless him. He was a big part of this team this year, injured in a game against Charleston about midway through the season. Shortly after the departure of Dom Dwyer, so you lose Dom Dwyer, you lose Jan Songo, who's not Blackburn, you lost Brian Burke. This team really had an identity check, if you will, midway through this season.
They certainly have had to earn this championship this year.
I'd be willing to.
Much better league overall, but just the perseverance they've had to show with the guys in and out of the lineup on loan, guys on injuries like you mentioned with Brian Burke, but also the guys like Kevin Molino not here tonight on international duty. Gene Alexander and Molino both on international duty for a good portion of the season, and they made it happen.
You also look down at the Charlotte Eagles squad, and they were all in solidarity together.
See some Charlotte fans down there.
Yeah, applauding their team, and you should be proud of your team. They came in here and gave Orlando everything that they could handle in a very hostile environment for them. Facing 20,000 plus screaming Orlando City fans, and to take the lead twice. That's quite a statement.
Now here comes the tour by the champs as they give a hand to this crowd of 20,000, 866. Who made it all possible for them with the support since the teams arrived in 2011. Now they've got a second championship. And how much did that loss last year, Tom, to Wilmington here in the playoffs, when you thought it was a foregone conclusion they'd win a second? It didn't happen, but boy, that motivated them this year.
It focused them. It definitely focused them, Jeff. You sense from the beginning of the season they wanted to win the regular season title, which they weren't able to do, but they wanted to win the championship. They wanted to do both. They were focused on that. That was their goal from the get-go. I think it was their goal from the minute they lost that game last year. And here they are now, taking their victory lap around their stadium with their fans. Half that goal achieved, but the big half. They are the USL Pro Champions of 2013.
Let's give big credit to the supporter groups who have been here since the beginning. The Iron Lion Firm, the Ruckus, now the 407, the Space Coast Alliance, Los Guerrillos, and now
Fan groups
taking a tour around the stadium, the team.
The fan groups are remarkable. We'll take this time now to let you know Charlotte's about to receive their runners-up medals. Lining
the
up
fifth
now.
seed, finishing second this year. They made the playoffs, Charlotte did, after 2 years of just missing out. Credit to their organization. They put on a show tonight for the fans here in Orlando, scoring 4 goals. You would think in any contest that's enough to win, but conceded 7. A touchdown. You know, one thing that we didn't have, like we had 2 years ago, we didn't have the football gridiron put it on the field. So
Thank
it was a
goodness.
true soccer game tonight.
Yeah, just soccer lines down on the pitch. This surface is true and consistent, obviously being turf. See Alex Wolf, Director of Operations, out there pushing Orlando City players over to the podium so that we can get this trophy presentation and then the medals presentations underway.
See Tim Holt down there, Chris Economides from USL Pro. A sporting director, if you will. Technical director, or player development guy for USL Pro.
What a final, Jeff.
Boy, what a way to celebrate
I'm
an
still
incredible season, an epic season in USL Pro.
I am still stunned. I am absolutely stunned. If you look at the drama, the way this game unfolded, it is 7-4. You couldn't have predicted that. You wouldn't come in here saying 7-4. 2-2 at halftime, and look what we got treated to. We got treated to a 5-2 second half. 7 goals alone in the second half of play. I mean, I would say both defenses struggled, but it shows some of the quality that was on the field in attack by both teams. Very impressed with Christian Ramirez tonight for Charlotte, as well as Stephen Okai, because he really held down the middle mostly for them. Unfortunately, you got this guy, Dwyer, up top for Orlando, and like we preached several times, you give him that chance in the box, and he tucks it away. And he showed that on 4 occasions tonight. He showed that he is a true striker. That's what the man does. He scores goals.
Certainly didn't disappoint and did not miss a beat tonight at all. 4 goals in a championship game.
Tim Holt's going to take
Tim
over
Holt.
proceedings.
On behalf of the entire USL family and our presenting partners, Nike Soccer, we'd like to congratulate both teams to a tremendous season and one of the most exciting, entertaining, and compelling championship finals in league history. The Charlotte Eagles, the 2-time league champ, overcame road contests
Well, the impending moment is coming on the field in front of us. The Lions taking their spot atop the riser to await what is rightfully theirs.
I think for every team, this is where you want to be at the end of your season. At this moment, on the stand, ready to lift the trophy. This represents a season of hard work by these players.
The MVP award goes to Dwyer from the Orlando City. And now, to make it official, USL Pro Senior Director, Chris Economides gives the 2013 USL Pro Championship Trophy to Orlando City.
Their cup runneth over. Orlando City, a second USL Pro Championship in 3 seasons. Everybody up on the podium. Tom, everything we've seen this season has led to this moment. What are you thinking right now?
I'm really thinking how really happy and proud I was to be able to sit here this year and watch this fine team play. Watch the action of this fantastic USL Pro season. The teams that have come in, the great young talent that we've seen. It's truly been a really fun season for me, and really happy and proud for the Orlando City organization. President Phil Rollins, owner Flavio Da Silva, head coach Adrian Heath. This has probably been one of the toughest jobs he's probably had to do in his pro coaching career, to keep this thing together and keep it pushing forward despite lots of changes to his playing personnel. Certainly congratulations to him and to all the players, Ian Fuller. And again, I look and my heart goes out to the Charlotte Eagles, a team that made a great run throughout these playoffs and really made themselves and their town proud. I like you say, nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to be sorry about, but your heart goes out to him this moment. I've been on both sides of this, and it's great to be on the winning side, and it's tough to be on the side that doesn't take home the trophy, but a whale of an effort by the Charlotte Eagles tonight, but a great and championship winning effort by Orlando City.
Well, as the Lions present the cup to the supporters in front of those United World Soccer cannons, take this time to thank a whole lot of people that have made this season possible, not just on the field, but here in the broadcast booth. Teresa Tatlungari, our fearless leader, the Orlando City Vice President of Marketing, who's had to put out a lot of fires and fight a lot of battles this year for us to get things on the air. Our Orlando City broadcast crew is led by the incomparable Austin Hiddle, does such a great job producing and directing this effort. His staff of photographers and directors, Trevor Lasso, Michael Alfano, Anthony Salerno, and Jordan Tarquino. A bang-up job as always tonight. Special thanks to Chris Jones and Jamie Chin in media relations. Of course, Jamie making his broadcast debut last week in the semifinals. Our statistician our department is led by Trevor Trudell, who every 15 minutes comes in and runs in the stats to us like clockwork and then gets back to his post before he misses something. So thank you, Trevor, for all that you do. And I can't leave here without thanking you, my partner, Tom Traxler, for all your candor and expertise and, the color that you provide, the color commentary position here this year.
Well, I've never.
In the booth.
This is my first opportunity to sit and commentate, if you will, but it's a pleasure to sit beside a true professional in yourself, Jeff Radcliffe. You make it so easy for me to do what I do, and definitely want to say thank you to Teresa Tatlungari for having the faith in us as a team to do these broadcasts, and to Austin Hiddle and Trevor, Lasso, Michael Alfano, Anthony Salerno, Jordan Tarquino, and Trevor Trudell, what I call the best broadcast crew in American professional soccer. They are all fantastic and work their tails off to put on just a great broadcast, consistent broadcast week in, week out. And I just want to thank you and everybody for making this such a memorable experience for not only for me, but for everybody that was watching.
And let's not forget, it starts at the top with Phil Rollins and Kay Rollins, who've been in our corner in the entire season and the last 3 seasons as we've brought to things here on USL Nation. Well, Tom, we'll do it again next season, see if we can get another cup as well. It has been fun. For my partner, Tom Traxler, I'm Jeff Radcliffe saying so long from the Citrus Bowl, where 20,000 plus 20,866 witnessed Orlando City win their second championship in 3 seasons, 7-4 over the Charlotte Eagles. We'll talk to you next season. Thanks so much for joining us on USL Nation. Good night.